Welcome back, my fellow pickleballers. It's Lloyd here from the Pickleball Store, and today we're focusing on the other most important aspect of pickleball and the most important piece of equipment that you will have. If you guessed it, yes, it's balls. And today we've got a selection of a few of the most common balls you'll see here in the UK. There are absolute tons of balls out there, so you've got to find out for yourself what would work for the sports centre or the place you play at. I'm just giving you my honest opinion as to what we use, what I've used, and what I found works for a lot of players. So take it with a pinch of salt because the option that you may be using may be the best one for you. I'm just talking about some of the balls that we stock and what we tend to find the players here in the UK like. So without further ado, let's take a look at different types of pickleballs. What you'll typically see are balls with 26 holes being indoors, so specific for indoor play, and then balls with 40 holes, or now 38, you'll see will be mainly for outdoor play. These balls tend to be heavier, have more holes. Indoor balls tend to be lighter, have 26 holes. Pretty simple when you think about it like that. But within that spectrum, you have a ton of different options to pick. And it can be quite confusing to know which one to pick and what would suit your play style or the surface that you play on, which is probably even more important, right? So we're going to take a look at a couple of different options which may be good for you here in the UK. Sorry if you're watching from America, but this is specific to UK pickleballs. Before I dive into some of the balls we've got here today, just a mention of some of the most common ones you'll see in the UK. So you'll often see a jug ball. I personally do not like jug balls, and I know a lot of coaches out there would agree with me. Jugs are really not good for those looking to progress within the sport. If you're playing recreationally and you need a slow ball, absolutely fine. If you're really new to the sport, jugs are a good option because of they're described as sort of like the marshmallow of pickleballs because they're really soft, they last a long time, and typically, like Rob mentions in his article, they are white. Um, we played with, when I first started pickleball, we played with green ones. And the problem with something like a jug is because of how soft they are, you need to put a lot of exertion through the ball, through overheads, through drives, just to see that ball come straight back. So that overexertion that you'll find with something like a really soft ball, like a jug, will tend to lead to elbow problems, particularly over longer periods of time where you're trying to put the ball away more often. That's why jugs are not the best option. So if you're a player that suffers with elbow pain and you're wondering why, there could be multiple reasons behind why, but one of those could be the ball is too soft for the way you play. So next up, we have my favorite indoor ball, which is a Gamma. It has 26 holes, a really nice seam. There's no protrusion on the seam itself. You can distinctly tell a Gamma. They've got some really nice graphics on it, some engraving within the pickleball itself. In the UK here, I would highly recommend getting yourself some Gammas. They are a very nice indoor ball. They're a lot quicker than a jug, so that can lead to you playing a lot quicker pickleball, which in turn will help you play. So these are really popular balls here in the UK. They have a really nice bounce, solid flight pattern. They last quite a long time. They're very durable. What you will find though is over time they will start to go soft and you will see that speed decrease. However, I've not really seen many crack, which is a really good option for you. So if you're a pickleball player here in the UK, you want something quicker that's good on wood surfaces, along with kind of your conventional floors, what you'd see in sports centres. The Gamma is a great option for you because it gives you that option to play fast when you want to. Freddie and Pep played with this ball in the Swedish Open. I know the Swedish Open uses this ball as its choice because they play on that sort of surface I mentioned. So if you're in the UK and you're looking for a consistent all-rounder ball, take a look at a Gamma. Really nice balls, a really good option as well. One that I need to mention is a pen. A pen is in between a jug and a Gamma. A really nice kind of consistent ball. They're said not to be able to break, but I know a few people that have been able to break them. But we get some of those in the store soon. So one of the best beginner balls out there. A really good option. They're bright red, so you can't really miss them. You'll see a lot of players using them. However, if you are a competitive player and you want a quicker ball, you're going to quickly progress from a head to something else. So a Gamma is the next logical step. Cool. So moving on. Moving on, we have something slightly harder and what a lot of club sessions will use, and that is an X26. You can see the X on the front of the ball there. It's sort of embossed onto the front of the ball. The build quality on these is not as good. I'm not going to lie. These balls are not as good as what you'll find through the build quality on a Gamma. But what you do get is the next progression up. So it's a harder plastic, so the ball does bounce and move faster than that of a Gamma. Can be quite difficult for some of the older players, but if you're looking for the next progression up, you can use one of these as well. I've actually used these on outdoor surfaces and they've not been too bad because of the weight of them. Are actually quite nice balls to use. So take a look at an X26, then the next step up from a Gamma, something a little bit quicker. They're also Franklin, so Franklin sponsor a lot of tournaments, so you might see these balls quite frequently used across the UK. You'll also find that the X26 skids a lot more as well than something like a Gamma. The Gamma will bounce up, whereas this ball will hit the surface and just ride off. So I would avoid using them on wood surfaces. I've used them on wood surfaces and they move too quickly for that sort of surface, whereas a Gamma is kind of your perfect option there. However, if you're using the kind of acrylic floor like you would in a sports centre, good option for you. So next up, we've got so we've done the indoor balls now. Next up, we've got a sort of middle of the road ball, which I'll just get out now, which is a brand new one by Selkirk, and it's their SLK Hybrid. So their SLK Hybrid Plus. So they had the original SLK Hybrid. This is the new and improved version, the SLK Hybrid Plus. It comes with a lot of their starter sets, and it's a really nice ball because it is that hybrid. It's a lighter plastic, features 40 holes. So on the surface, it looks like an outdoor ball, but actually it does also play like an indoor ball. So if you're torn between balls and you think, oh, we might play outside, we may play inside, this is a really good option for you because it gives you that opportunity and that potential to play. Definitely softer than something like an X40. So if you're looking to progress from an X26 upwards and you're not ready for something like an X40 by Franklin yet, the SLK Hybrid Plus may be a good option for you. Nice balls, quite light, and they play very true. So next up, we have the official ball of Pickleball England and a lot of pickleball tournaments across the world, which is Franklin. The Franklin X40, one of the most popular balls ever made. And I say that because they clearly are. They are used in so many countries around the world. Franklin do an amazing job of supporting different tournaments. These are very nice balls, particularly here in the UK. One of the biggest downfalls, though, are the amount they break. Particularly if you use them on something like a sports hall surface, these balls will last you 2 to 3 weeks max of playing twice to 3 times a week. So just be warned when you do get yourself some X40s, they are around £2, £3 a ball. So they are on the more expensive side per ball, but they fly very well. They are really nice. You get some really nice feedback through the paddle as well, which is why they're used in so many tournaments. They're softer than what you will find a lot of outdoor balls are like as well. So if you use something like a Dura Fast or the new Vulcan ball, these are softer, which you'll find the dink rallies will last a lot longer. If you see the kind of US Open, they use one of these balls and the dink rallies last a lot longer than something with like a Vulcan ball. So the X40 is a really nice ball, comes in loads of different colours, the most popular being this Optic Yellow. The Optic Yellow is the one they use in most tournaments throughout the UK. So if you're a competitor, you're looking to play in any tournament around the UK, or you're playing in the professional Premier Pickleball League, if you're good enough to play in it, I am certainly not. These are the balls they'll be using. So if you're going to be playing in any tournaments, pick yourself up some of these. You can get them from us. You can get them from America. I know they do some deals in America. Sometimes they do £1 or $1 a ball. It's just the shipping cost to get it over, which can put it through the roof. But these balls are very nice and they play really well. So if you're looking for a ball that's going to give you some sort of feedback through the paddle, if you're using a 16mm paddle, these are very, very good. Next up, we have one of the new kids on the block, as they say, and this one is renowned, and most of you sat there will probably be in anticipation, waiting for this ball, and this is the Selkirk Pro S1. There you go, the Pro S1. So Selkirk decided, you know what? The problem with balls on the market are they're not very durable. The consistency on the flight path and the bounce is ridiculous. Let's make our own and let's make it really good. And that's what they've done here with the S1 or the Pro S1. So the Pro S1 has 38 holes as opposed to 40. And the reason why is so they could get the holes completely opposite each other. That helps massively when it comes to the flight of the ball. So the flight of the ball will be very true every single time. The Selkirk S1 also uses what they call roto molding. This roto molding technology delivers a ball which is really seamless, really nicely designed, really round. Sounds weird for a ball, right? But it's a really, really round ball. A really smooth design as well. So you won't see any of the kind of flared edges like you would on some of the other balls where the holes have been not cut quite right. It's essentially designed to create a balanced ball that flies faster, spins more, and bounces more consistently. And yes, if you're a pickleball player in the UK and you've seen these balls, they are quite fast on UK surfaces. I have not used one indoors because they are just, number one, they aren't the brightest of balls. I don't know if you can see through the camera. I know I've got a light here right in front of me, so it looks brighter than it is. When you're in a sports centre indoors, these balls are quite hard to see. Number two, they are quite hard as well, so they move like a bullet, particularly off indoor surfaces. So if you're playing just recreationally, you will not have very long rallies. So they're the two kind of biggest weaknesses of this ball, particularly here in the UK. However, if you're a fan of Selkirk, you've definitely seen the fact that they give this 1 year crack-free warranty, which is ridiculous. Most balls, after consistent use, will crack, whereas they're saying you can have 1 year use of this ball without it cracking. I've seen a lot of videos around balls online, particularly this ball, and people putting it in the freezer, getting it really cold, and then hitting it as hard as they could multiple times, and just not cracking. However, it will lose shape apparently. I've not seen that yet. This ball has been used a few times outdoors. So this is where the ball does come in. So if you're playing outdoors on outdoor surfaces, or if you're playing on sort of like a David Lloyd surface, not their kind of badminton surface, but the tennis surface, you can get away with something like a Pro S1. That's essentially it. So there were 5 balls there. I mentioned probably about 7, but these are just our opinion on what people want. So first up, you have the Jug. Quickly progress from that. They're good for beginners-ish, but can lead to arm pain further down the line. You've then got the Head Pen 26, the red one that you'll see on loads of courts. Good for learning the game. I would probably go straight in with a Head Pen rather than a Jug. You then got a Gamma, which is your middle of the road all-rounder ball, a fantastic ball for players here in the UK on a range of different surfaces, from wood surface all the way to their kind of usual sports hall style surface. You've then got the X26 by Franklin, a harder ball which moves quicker, but the next step up. And then you've got the SLK Hybrid Plus, a good balance of between outdoor and indoor. So if you're splitting your time between playing on indoor courts, outdoor courts, a really good ball. I like using it in sports halls when I play singles because it's not as quick as an X40, but it still gives you that more intense speed rather than something like a Gamma. You've then got the X40, which I mentioned, which are the UK balls used in Pickleball England tournaments, so the English Open, along with the Professional Premier League of Pickleballs, so the Premier Pickleball League. So they use it, and they're used in tournaments all over the world. So you can't go wrong with an X40. And then on top of that, you've now got the brand new Pro S1s by Selkirk. Uncrackable balls, we will see, but they are very nicely designed. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to these balls, the aerodynamics, the longevity of life. They are quite pricey per ball, but if you've got a ball that's going to last you 6 months to a year, why would you not take a £5 a ball or £4 a ball? It's quite expensive per ball, but if that's going to last you all year, why not? I've been Lloyd from the Pickleball Store. I hope that's helped you pick a ball that's right for you and the surface you play on. Any questions, chuck them below. We'll get back to you. Have a good day and take care.